Chuck Brown. Oh, you don't know the sound? Well, let me break it down. The G-O, the G-O, the M-A, and B-O. See, though, we've been pumping crank since an embryo, really, though. It's the city where the people hold the power, and you can see 9 dimes every half an hour. Well, Larson and Joe is the lingo, and brothers ride, so ain't nobody rocking mink coats. Take it back to the madness, hats or how the city renamed Cigarette Shacks or how even the mayor had a running with crack. But we all kept it real and we voted them back. But we got no stars that spit on bars like BET, wasn't birthed in our backyard. So our NEG, our essence in our backyard. And Junkyard got us all going hard. You know when you're at the USA Cup, you're taking us lightly, I'm taking us lightly. Now how you don't act on you, we'll be right back. We will be right here, we will be right here.
What's going on? What's going on? What's going on, Drew? What's going on, Crush? Appreciate y'all coming through. Yep. Got a couple of more people coming here, but yeah, we had nice little weekend in boxing. I didn't even catch all of it. I ended up falling asleep. I didn't even catch all of the boxing, but I mean, I got the outcomes. I was talking a little bit about a couple of the prospects that I seen, like Tiger, his first couple of fights that he had. I mean, it was a decent showing for the first couple of fights that he had, but you saw that he needed some more work. He needed some improvement. He had this fight this past weekend, and he showed some improvement. I mean, he still needs some more improvement or whatever, but he looked like he's moving in the right direction. He was able to put a lot of combinations together. What's going on, Jay? Appreciate you coming through. He was able to put a lot of combination together, and he made easy work with his opponent. He got him out of there. What's going on, T? Appreciate you coming through. Yeah, I mean, we did see a couple of holes in his defense, which is expected. It was only his third fight, so I mean, it was expected to see some holes in his defense or whatever. But he still did what he was supposed to do and got his opponent up out of there. You had the Warrington fight. What's up, Case Avoy? You had the Warrington fight happen this weekend. I mean, it pretty much went how I expected to go, although I don't think Warrington looked very impressive in that fight. The guy Martinez, I think he could have got the nod if he would have just been a little bit more active towards the middle rounds or whatever. But I mean, we already figured that they was going to give it to Warrington. But I mean, it wasn't really. I didn't see nothing that really impressed me about Warrington. He looked like the same guy that's been ducking Gary Russell all this time. I mean, you could tell why he's been ducking Gary Russell, because he was in there with Martinez that don't have half the skills that Gary Russell got, and Martinez was catching him. But I mean, he got the nod. I mean, it is what it is. They're going to keep shuffling those belts between the European fighters over there. They're not going to give nobody no real that has real talent any chance of beating them. I mean, we see what what's his guy name Leo Santa Cruz going to do. He's supposed to be facing against Mark Maceo, so we're going to see if they make that fight and see what happens after that, if they're going to try to unify those belts with Leo or Mark Maceo, because that's the next talk. It's supposed to be Leo and Mark Maceo supposed to be trying to unify their belts, and we're going to see if Josh Warrington is going to get up in the mix. What's going on, DP Rock? I appreciate y'all coming through. Make sure y'all hit my like button for me. I greatly appreciate it, like my man T say. But yeah, I mean, it was some decent fights. But my man T, shout out to Southern T Boxing and Sports. If y'all not subscribed to my man. I mean, everybody I see in the chat so far, they all subscribe to him. But my man T broke the news that this fight has been signed. I have the link at the in the chat if y'all want to come through and chop it up. What's going on, Quee? Appreciate you coming through, sis. Um, but yeah, I mean the news been broke that well my man T broke the news that Devin Haney signed a contract, and we already knew he was going to sign it. The holdup was Kambosos. That's been the holdup the whole time. We Devin Haney been waiting on Kambosos to offer him the fight. He's been trying to go with Ryan Garcia. He's been trying to go with Lomachenko. He's been trying to go everywhere except for where he needed to go, where he said he was going to go. So he finally decided to. He said already. Yeah, he finally decided to give him the fight, and Devin Haney signed it like we knew he was, and Devin Haney signed it. Although a lot of people don't like the signing, what he had to give up in order to make the fight, I have a little different perspective than what a lot of other people have. Um, what's going on? But
What's
yeah,
good, all right?
not much. Yeah, I have a little different perspective on a lot what the signing of what he had. Now he gave up. He gave up the A side, which we already knew he was going to give up the A side. But they offered him a 3-fight deal on ESPN. Excuse me. And so according to the contract, Devin Haney would be the B side in the first fight, and if Devin Haney should win the fight, there will be a rematch for Kambosos, which Devin Haney will also be the B side. And that's where a lot of people are upset about the fact that he has to take the B side in the second fight. But like I said before, I mean, Devin Haney was going to do whatever he had to do to get this fight. He didn't care about being the A side. He didn't care about the purse or none of that. He wanted this fight because he wanted to cement his legacy, which I'm glad that he took that jump out there to do what he needed to do for his legacy. I mean, we're asking lot of other fighters to do the same thing, and they're not doing it. But there's a third fight, and a lot of people believe it's going to be Lomachenko in the third fight, but it doesn't have to be Lomachenko in that third fight because we all know that Devin Haney is supposed to be moving up to 140. So I'm thinking that third fight is actually going to be Tio and not Devin and not Lomachenko. Now it can be Lomachenko if that's who Devin Haney wants to fight next after Kambosos, but it doesn't have to be Lomachenko. It can be Tio, and that's why I believe that the third fight is going to be. I believe it's going to be Tio. But my whole thing about this, what I'm looking at, and that's because he has a 3-fight deal with ESPN. But prior to this fight being made, there was there was it was put out that the WBA is going to order the fight between Tank Davis and the winner of this fight to unify those WBA belt. So there might be a Tank Davis Devin Haney fight before he even give them that third fight on ESPN. Because if they order that fight, then that's the fight that's going to be next after Kambosos is done. Because Tio don't have a belt, Lomachenko don't have a belt for him to unify. So those fights are not a unification. So that mandatory fight with Tank Davis would trump anybody else. So I believe he's going to fight Tank Davis if they go ahead and make that order. If they go ahead and order the WBA for Tank Davis to fight the winner of Kambosos and Devin Haney, I think he will fight Tank Davis before he fight Tio or Lomachenko, because we know Devin Haney been wanting that fight, and we know that Tank Davis said he will fight him, but Floyd and Leonard Ellaby has been keeping him away from that fight. So, what you think about it, T?
I should I agree? I had spoke on there a little bit about the Tank Devin Haney thing. Like we might end up getting that junk at the at the end of the tunnel. I never really when the info hit about the 3-fight deal, I never really thought like, damn, I had I had completely forgot that Tank was a WBA mandatory type shit. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, that is a that is still in play now that I think about it because but if he fighting, that means they'll have to compensate Tank if he if they go fight again for
Yeah,
undisputed.
and
They'll
then
have
that's what I was thinking about last week when they had said that, and it was like, oh, it could be a rematch or whatever. So I'm like, okay, if they order Tank Davis to fight the winner of Kambosos, are they just going to have Tank Davis just sitting around and waiting for them to finish these two fights, or is it going to be Tank Davis can fight somebody else until they finish these next two fights? Because we already know that Kambosos has a rematch clause for him. Now Devin Haney doesn't have a rematch clause, but Kambosos has a rematch clause. So are they going to let Tank Davis be allowed to fight somebody else while he's waiting on the winner of the Kambosos and Devin Haney fight? That's my whole thing about it.
yeah,
Uh,
they ain't gonna have nothing but to shit let him. They either got to give him his fight or shit let him do what he want to do. They most definitely gonna have to compensate him because he next in line.
yeah, because and see and that's the whole thing. Like a lot of people saying, "Oh, Devin Haney gave up too much to get this fight," but that's what we ask these people to do. If this is a fight that you really want, you do what you got to do to get that fight. Like I said, Devin Haney ain't worried about the paycheck. He didn't already made enough money. He like, man, I'm not worried about the pay cut. This ain't number one or two fights that I got to take a pay cut. I'm not worried about that. I'm worried about getting these daggone belts up off of him so I could solidify my legacy. And that's the same thing we was asking about Bud Crawford. You talking about you want Earl Spence. You said you wanted to be undisputed at 147, but you saying you're not trying to take no 60-40. So how bad do you really want that fight? And then we see Devin Haney is doing it. Devin Haney said, "This is the fight that I want. I don't care if it was Tiafimo, if it was Lomachenko, or if it was Kambosos or Tank Davis. Whoever had those belts, I wanted that fight." And so he was like, he got to take a pay cut. Okay, he pretty much got to. He had to take all the terms that they was giving up, but he was like, "I don't care about that. I want this fight." And that's the same thing we asking for Bud. Bud is not trying to do that because if he was trying to do that, the fight with Earl Spence and Bud would have already been made. Uh, Case of voice said, "I commend Haney for doing this." Yeah, I mean you got to commend him. Like I said, he went for what he wanted. He put all his eggs in one basket and said, "I'm going for it." I don't
Yeah.
care if I get the smallest bag. I don't care if I got to fight in your backyard. I don't care if I beat you as a rematch. I still got to take the smallest bag. Doesn't matter. He put all his eggs in one basket and he bet on himself, and he got the fight that he wanted. I mean, there's no I mean, only thing we got to worry about is are they going to give him a fair fight or are they going to try to rob him? That's all we ask for.
That's the big thing, man. That's the big thing. We seen how they been doing shit. Josh Taylor. We seen how they did Regis Prograis.
Mm-hmm.
We seen what they just did with Catterall. It's another jump that just happened not too long ago. Manny Pacquiao and Jeff Horn.
Right.
Uh,
Yeah.
shit, instances where people going over there. Normally when we go over there, Earl Spence, Bud Crawford, we gotta stop them. No, we stop them so it ain't really no question about who won or whatnot. And now that I don't even think Bud stopped his opponent when he went. Did he stop? What's the guy name that Bud had to go? Dang, the white guy that Bud had to beat across the pond.
You talking
Forgot.
about no, he knocked out
What's
he
his name?
knocked out
Ricky Burns.
I believe he knocked
Ricky
Ricky
Burns. He
Burns out.
stopped him. Yeah, so knowing that we get to stop it, like you gonna have to get the feeling is you gonna have to get to stop it, especially like you said when you got you on his backyard, his crowd, his promotional company, shit, his people. You know what I mean?
Right.
He gonna have to make that shit look convincing, and
Yeah,
that's the biggest thing.
yeah, he's gonna have to do. He's gonna have to make it look like Kambosos should not have never been in that ring with him because everybody's talking about, oh, Kambosos going to stop Devin Haney, this, and that.
Yeah.
We're like Devin Haney don't have no knockout power, but Devin Haney got more knockouts than Kambosos. So how you figure Devin Haney don't have no knockout power, but you giving knockout power to Kambosos? Devin Haney got more knockouts than Kambosos. Kambosos only has 10 knockouts. So Kambosos don't have knockout power. He caught Tio on a and dropped Tio, but Tio was coming in. He caught Tio off. He caught Tio basically off balance. That's how he was able to drop Tio. Because if he had power like that, when he was hitting Tio, he would have dropped Tio again or possibly knocked Tio out. He was hitting Tio with everything. He just happened to catch Tio off balance, and that's how he dropped him. He said, Case of Voice say Haney will have to knock out Kambosos to get the win. Now, I don't think he has to knock him out. I don't think he has to knock. Now, a knockout would definitely give him the win without a doubt. But I don't think he has to knock him out. Because if he go in there and make him look like he doesn't belong in the ring with him, like Floyd did Canelo, and just make like, look, this man does not belong in the ring with me. I mean, it's no doubt about it that this man won the fight. So I mean, I understand the judges is gonna. I mean, we don't. I'm not gonna say that the judges is going to rob him because we don't know, but there's a good possibility that the judges might rob him. I mean, the last fight they had in Australia, the last big fight they had in Australia, Manny Pacquiao got robbed. So I mean, there's a good possibility that they might rob him, but I don't think that they will. I think that also had a lot to do with Bob Arum, and I don't think they would have put in a rematch clause if they didn't think Devin Haney had a chance to beat him. If they didn't think Devin Haney had a chance to beat him, they wouldn't have put a rematch clause in for Kambosos. That's the reason why they didn't put one in for Devin Haney. They like, if Kambosos happened to luck up and beat him, we don't want to give Devin Haney another chance to get his belt back. So they put a rematch clause in for Kambosos. They didn't put one in for Devin Haney. Case of Voice said Haney going to fuck that boy up because Haney got an attitude going into the fight. All that shit Cam has been putting them through. Yeah, I mean, he got to go in there like that. You got to go in there like that with every fight, regardless. You got to go in there with that type of attitude that I'm going in here to beat the shit out of you at the end of the day. And then after the fight is over, then we can go back to being cool if we was cool or go our separate ways. It is what it is. But yeah, you got to go in there. You got to have that mindset in any fight you go in. You don't have that mindset, you setting yourself up to get beat. But I mean, like I said, I can see it going either way, far as him getting a knockout or him winning on the scorecards. Because now I mean he could very well knock Kambosos out. But we saw Kambosos get dropped. It's not like Kambosos never been down. The only person in this fight that hasn't been down is Devin Haney. We never seen Devin Haney get dropped. So that's why I don't understand how they're saying Kambosos is going to knock Devin Haney out. Devin Haney never even touched the canvas. So Kambosos don't have punching power like Linares. He don't even have punching power like Jojo Diaz. So I don't see how they expect Kambosos to stop Devin Haney. And they wishing upon a star for that one because I don't see it happening. Devin Haney, he could take a punch. I mean, now I ain't saying he could take a lot of punches on the chin, but he could take a punch. But Kambosos is not the one that you got to be worried about Devin Haney getting stopped by. It's just more so him getting cheated out of the fight. Now, what I will say is Devin Haney can't be fighting on his back feet a lot. He got to be coming forward sometimes. What's going on, Bruce Goes? He got to be coming forward more so than fighting on his back foot. He got to make sure that Kambosos is on his back foot, because if Kambosos look like he's pressuring the fight and those rounds can go either way, they probably most likely they're going to give that to Kambosos. So you got to make it look like Kambosos is on his back foot and you're pressuring the fight. Now, not to put yourself in harm's way and not to fight your style, but keep him off guard, keep him off balance. Don't have him sitting there just waiting to line you up. You got to keep him off balance and pressure the fight, and then know when to get on your bike and move. Pretty much just make him look stupid every time he swing. Make him be swinging at air, so they can't say, "Oh, he landed that punch." Nah, he ain't landing nothing. He's swinging at the air. That's how I see it. But I mean, it's like I said, a lot of people just been they real. A lot of people upset of what Devin Haney had to go through. I'm not so much upset of what he had to go through to get the fight. I'm more so happy that we have a fighter that's willing to give up everything and bet on himself to get a fight that he wants. Because a lot of these fighters, they wouldn't have took this fight. They were like, "Nah, I'm not giving you no rematch, and I'm still a B-sider, even though I beat you the first time." They were like, "Nah, I'm not taking that fight." But this man is like, "Nah, I want this fight. Whatever I got to do to get this fight, I'm willing to do it." And that's what I see more so than he had to go through all this to get the fight. I see a man that's like, "Man, I'm doing whatever I got to do to get this fight." It's pretty much like Floyd did with Oscar. Floyd knew the only way he can get that Oscar fight, he would have to take whatever Oscar was offering him, and he took it and he beat the shit out of Oscar. And that's the same thing I see going to happen with this fight. Kambosos gave him the most shittiest offer that you can give him, and Devin Haney took it and said, "I don't give a fuck about that offer. I want this fight, and I'm gonna beat the shit out you and let you know that you didn't belong in this ring with me. You should have never had this belt." What's going on, A1? Appreciate you coming through. But yeah, like I said, and I don't think that third fight is going to be with Lomachenko. I think it's going to be with Tio. Now, will Tio take the fight at 140? Don't know. He was scared to take it at 135. So is Bob Burnham going to be able to talk Tio into taking that fight at 140? I mean, it's a whole lot to tell. Because I mean, Tio still got to get past Barbosa. That's not an easy fight for Tio.
I throw this one out to you. Keyshawn Davis on top rank
Yeah, he is
at 135.
Yeah, I don't think Bob will put Keyshawn Davis in there. I don't think he'll put him in there with Devin Haney just yet. Now, maybe if Devin Haney was going to stay down there for a while, he might would have did it. But I don't think that he's going to put Keyshawn Davis in it, because Keyshawn Davis is a fighter that's coming up, and he looked like he might be the goods from the fights that we've seen of him. He looked like he might be the goods. So I don't think Bob Arum wants to give up, because at this point, I believe Keyshawn Davis and his brother. Well, Keyshawn Davis is the only black fighter he got at 135, and then his brother is at, I believe his brother's at 140. Yeah. So he got his brother at 140, but Keyshawn Davis is the only black fighter he got at 135, and I don't think he want to lose that, especially if Keyshawn Davis end up being the goods. I don't think he want to put a loss in Keyshawn Davis record so soon. I think they want to mold him a little bit longer and try to see how much money they can get from him. Because if he end up being a star, that's when you're gonna start seeing them feed Keyshawn Davis. Not so much feed Keyshawn Davis to other people, but start putting Keyshawn Davis in title fights.
What about Nakatila? He just got him one at 135 this weekend. How you feel about that jump?
Now that's a good fight. Like I said, I don't think Devin Haney gonna fight him, but he's definitely somebody to be on the lookout. I mean, last time we seen him before this fight was in the ring with Shakur Stevenson, and I mean, he pretty much kept Shakur on his back for that whole fight too. I mean, Shakur pulled off the win or whatever, but that man, I mean, he's gonna be a force to be reckoned with at 135. He's definitely going. Him, Keyshawn Davis, Isaac Pitbull Cruz. Those are three guys that's going to be a force to be reckoned with at 135. And
I'm
I
trying to think
don't.
of some more top ranked people at 135 they got.
You said that again?
As I'm trying to think of some more top ranked guys at 135 they got.
Yeah, I know. I know. You got Keyshawn Davis. You got Jeremiah. Um, of course, you got Loma.
Mm-hmm.
And they probably got some more people, but they haven't been displayed yet. Because, like I said, Top Rank always try to get those guys that's on the Olympic team or trying out for the Olympics. They try to get them guys early or whatever.
What weight
So he,
class Tiger Johnson at?
Tiger Johnson, I believe he's on Top Rank. I think, but
Yeah,
I
he on top rank. Is he 135?
was he 135? I don't know. I think he is 130. He's either 135 or he's 130.
Yeah, something like that. Yep. Yeah, I'm
I
just
think
trying to see. Yeah, he
I
do got
believe,
some guys over there.
yeah, but I believe
But I saw it said that Lomachenko fight was a possibility. He didn't say that that third fight was set in stone to be Lomachenko. They said it was possible.
yeah, like a lot of people see a lot of people saying that it's possible because they thinking Devin Haney is going to stay at 135 and fight Lomachenko, but I don't think he's going to stay at 135. I think he's going to move up to 140. I mean, we already then heard from Bill Haney saying that that he's gonna move up, and from the way that Bill Haney was talking, it was pretty much after he get this undisputed fight, he's gonna move up to 140. Now he didn't say that for sure, but that's the way he made it seem like after they get this undisputed fight, he's gonna move up to 140.
Yeah. He said they hinted earlier that Devin not having problems making the weight, but it'd be easier for him to make 140. So that there's
Yeah.
something that they see themselves going in the near future. And I think them getting the undisputed fight will speed up their process.
Oh, Teach said Tiger Johnson's at 147. Dang, he looked kind of small to be 147.
Yeah, he is. He 147. Okay, yeah, he is. He probably need to go down, goddamn.
Yeah, he looked small to be
Yeah, he do
147.
look kind of small if you 147. Okay. Shout out Tiger Johnson.
Okay. I mean, like I said, that was only his third fight. I mean, he looked
But we
good.
were trying to see if he had some more 135, some more black 135s. So,
Yeah, I think Keyshawn might be the only one that we know about. It's probably some other ones, like I said, but they haven't been displayed yet. I'm like Keyshawn. I believe he's the only one that we know about. But I mean, yeah, Tiger Johnson. He probably be able to do all right at 147. Because by the
I
time
don't,
he
I don't know. I don't know.
But by the time he move up in the ranks, most of those guys are going to be out of that division because it was only his third fight. What we saw on Saturday, that was only his third fight.
Yeah.
So by the time he move up in the ranks, most of those guys probably going to be out of the division. We know Bud and Earl going to be gone. Danny's already gone. I'm almost certain Keith Thurman is going to be gone if he's not retired by then. Um, uh,
Now Frank Martin now with Top Rank St. Louis. We was talking about with Top Rank.
yeah, we was talking about with Top
Jose
Rank.
Venezuela is with Top Rank. He not black though. We was talking about black 135 was with Top Rank.
Yeah,
William Zepeda.
he's at 140,
He
ain't he?
140 and Zepeda. Nah, Jose Zepeda at 140.
William Zepeda.
It's the same dude.
William Zepeda. He was the one that. Oh yeah, he is 130. No, was that
It's
135?
Jose, ain't it? It's Jose Zepeda.
Yeah, Jose Zepeda. I know is at 140. Is William Zepeda at 142? He might be at 135.
We talk.
But yeah,
No.
it ain't.
Right,
Frank
Jose at
Frank
140.
Martin. Yeah, Frank Martin. Yeah, but we know he's under Earl Spence. We know that.
Yeah, he ain't really got that many over there. That's why he wanted Devin. I can't believe Devin had to sign that shit. He had to go fuck with that man. He had to go fuck with that man. That's terrible. Bob Aaron McCall, motherfucker, man.
Yeah. He, I mean, like I said, we know they was going to try to do something, but that's what I told y'all. I told y'all, what was that, Saturday or Sunday that when you broke the news, I told y'all. I said that's the reason why Lomachenko didn't come over here because remember they gave him the pass to leave the country and he could come over here and fight, but then they turned around and said Lomachenko is going to stay. I believe Bob Erm told Lomachenko, no, go ahead and stay in your country because that's going to be bad publicity. I'm going to make it so you still be able to get that fight.
Yeah.
So, I mean, like I said, and that's exactly what he did. He gave him a 3-fight deal. So if he stays at yeah, he said Jose is at 140, Williams at 135. Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah.
But Jose is the better fighter. William not that good.
Right.
William, he's okay, but he's not that good. But yeah, I believe. I mean, I think if Devin Haney think that if he feel that he can get that fight with Lomachenko, he might stay at 135 to take that fight with Lomachenko, so he could show to everybody Lomachenko was running from him. He might stay at 135 to take that fight with Lomachenko. That's another big name on his resume. Even though I mean, I don't care too much about Lomachenko's record because his record is garbage. He's what 14-2 or 15-2.
Yeah. The crazy part is Devin Haney signed with Top Rank, right? He over there with Teofimo Lopez, and he still make more money than T.O., and he took a pay cut.
Yep. Yep. He make more money than Lomachenko, and he took a pay
You
cut.
talking all this shit about Devin, now he on your network and make more money than you do.
Yep. He make more money than all of them, and he took a pay cut. Lomachenko ain't making the money that Devin Haney's making. We know Tio not. Tio ain't had number one big fight, and that was with Lomachenko. That was the only big fight that Tio had. I don't think Bob will let him fight Loma. No, Bob actually will let him fight Loma because Bob want those belts off of Devin. Because he was trying to get Loma to fight Kambosos. They want those belts. They want to be able to say Lomachenko is undisputed, and Bob Erm have another undisputed champion under his banner. So they want Loma to get those belts. So I think he will let Loma fight Devin Haney. So I mean, if they was willing to let Loma fight Tank, they definitely let him fight Devin Haney.
Especially if Devin beat Kambosos, he gonna want to get the straps back, to his side.
Right, because now he is definitely undisputed. Devin wins that daggone fight is undisputed. So if Loma fight Devin Haney, it will be for undisputed. He said, yeah, but if Loma loses again with Bob, he said if Loma loses again, then Bob screwed with Loma. Not necessarily. I mean, though, I keep trying to tell y'all, it's not about the losses. It's about who you lost to. It's not about the losses. Because Manny Pacquiao had 7 losses. And we still looked at Manny Pacquiao as one of the greats. He's a legend. He had 7 losses. It's not about the losses. It's about who you lost to. Now, if he had multiple losses against bums, then you can say, okay, yeah, he ain't nothing. But he lost to T.O. Everybody knows T.O. is a decent fighter. And then he lose to Devin Haney. Everybody knows Devin Haney is a good fighter. So it's not like he lost to bums. Now, that first fighter that he lost to, which was a journeyman, then that's different. He said, St. Louis said Devin on Top Rank for a little while, which is exactly what Bob wanted at the beginning. That's why he's still mad at him because he signed with the wrong promoter. Yeah, I mean, we all knew he wanted Devin Haney. He said facts for undisputed. They would let Loma get in the ring with Devin. That's the fight they need. They really need to be a on the yeah. Yeah, that's what I said. He said Loma don't have the record like Manny. No, Loma got some. He got people under his belt in his record. Like he fought Rigondeaux. He fought Gary Russell. He fought Linares. He got people on his record. I mean, he fought just about all of the top fighters at 135 except for Tank and Devin. He fought all of the top fighters at 135. So he got people under his record. So it's just a matter of how they moving them. They didn't want him to fight Devin because they wanted to try to get Lomachenko the undisputed. But then Lomachenko lost to Tio. So now they have no choice but to fight Devin.
Yeah. And I still tried to bring Lomachenko back.
Yep. They have no choice. Yeah, I got to remember. I mean, when Manny Pacquiao was coming up, he fought a lot of people that a lot of people didn't know nothing about. It wasn't until he got to 147 and 154 that we started really recognizing the people that he fought. I mean, he fought a lot of people that nobody really paid attention to. Manny Pacquiao was always a name because he was with Top Rank, but his name wasn't big like that because you had Floyd Mayweather under that same banner. So everybody was looking at Floyd Mayweather before they were looking at Manny Pacquiao. And then when Floyd left, they started paying attention to Manny Pacquiao. But Manny Pacquiao fought a lot of people that nobody really know about like that. Or I'm not gonna say that nobody knew about, but he fought a lot of people that didn't have good records. He fought a lot of people that had good records, but he also fought a lot of people that didn't have good records. He said bad contract if the fight happens, but good for legacy. I am all for it. Even if he loses, it's a bad loss record wise. Who you talking about, Teach? Who you talking about? Bad contract. Oh, you talking about Devin Haney in the Kambosos fight?
Say no.
I think he talking. Yeah, I think he talking about the Devin Haney Kambosos fight. He said bad contract. Yeah, I mean, like I said, people mad. He mad about the Kambosos. Like, I mean, I'm not. Like I said, I'm not mad about the money. I'm not mad that he had to take a pay cut. I'm more so I'm more so happy that we have a fighter that's willing to take a pay cut to get the fight that he wants. Same thing like the Deontay Wilder. He was willing to take a pay cut to get the fight that he wanted. That's what I'm more excited about. It's not all about the money when it comes to Devin Haney. It's about the fight. He want that fight. That's what I'm excited about. I'm not even looking at. I mean, I understand he shouldn't have to go through it, but like I said, I'm more so excited about the fact that he was willing to take a pay cut to get the fight that he wanted. They will pull some craziness to make sure Loma wins the fight against Devin. They will have top right better and the sanctioning bodies involved. Yeah, now that one I will be more alert of them cheating Devin. I will be more alert of them cheating Devin because I think they would cheat for Lomachenko more against Devin Haney than they would for Kambosos against Devin Haney. I don't think Kambosos' name is that big for them to be worried about cheating for Kambosos. Nobody knew about Kambosos until he fought Tio. If Kambosos would have never beat Tio, nobody would be talking about Kambosos. Nobody was talking about Kambosos. Nobody was talking about Kambosos before Tio. Nobody would have been talking about Kambosos after Tio if he would have lost. So I don't think they would cheat for Kambosos because nobody cares about Kambosos. It's more so about Lomachenko is what Bob is more so worried about. He's trying to get Lomachenko to fight now. I can see them cheating for Kambosos because if he think that Lomachenko have a better chance against Kambosos than he would Devin Haney, then I can see that. But far as just because it was Kambosos, no, I don't think so. But yeah, so I'm about to get off of here. I just wanted to come on here for a little while. You still running your live, T? T. He just stepped away. But yeah, I believe T is still live. So y'all go over to Southern T Boxing and Sports, and we will. I'll be over there. He said after June 4th, we're not going to be talking about his ass. Yeah, we're not. All right, Teach. I appreciate you coming through, man. Yeah, we're not going to be talking about it after March 4th. I mean, after June 4th or June 5th. We're not going to be talking about Kambosos. If we be talking about Kambosos, it's because he in a fight with Ryan Garcia or Pitbull Cruz or something like that. It's not going to be for no title fight. All right, so we about to go back over to Southern T Boxing and Sports. Go back to his live. He's running a live right now. If y'all want to hear about the sports betting and all that, that's where we be at, talking about the college games and the NBA games. So y'all can meet me over there, and then we already know in a little while if he hasn't gone on lately. I mean, he hasn't gone on yet. Everything Boxing and Sports, he should be coming on. And make sure y'all subscribe to Kwee and Ashley and my man Bruce Goes. He go by Bruce Gas now. Make sure y'all subscribe to all my people. St. Louis Mix, I believe he got a channel. Southern T Boxing, Ricky Williams Boxing, all my people that I rock with. G5. So I'm about to go back over to your channel, T.
Appreciate you. Let me slide through your jump.
Not a problem, man. All right, y'all. Peace.